Where is it? I don't see it. Hello? Excuse me? The past. It starts in the motherfucking... Oh my fuck! This game is nuts. I love it. I thought 999 was nuts. Obviously, Temioji knew that nuts was his brand, so he had to step it up for this game. And I bet same's gonna be true for ZTD. And both Somnium Files games. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it. Feels like my head's gonna explode. Wait. Yeah, wait. This is like the AB room earlier. Like before Akane got killed. Where the hell am I? So can you prevent Akane from being killed? Looks like an elevator, but...
No, this is one of the AB rooms.
Yeah, who the hell are you? What the hell's an AB room?
Damn, I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Oh my god, memory. Memory. Wait, maybe not. Nope, not entirely, thank god. I remember. You're Phi. She grinned. I love that. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red pair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does this mean this is the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AB room.
No. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
How do you know?
Push the buttons on the side of your bracelet.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time.
Which means we can prevent Akane from dying.
I think we're about an hour early.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. If you're right...
Yeah, Akane might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her, I think.
Then...
Right. We're here for one reason.
To stop her from getting killed. Literally, both games... I wasn't expecting both the first and second games to be about stopping Akane from being killed. Please tell me the third game isn't about that too. At least. We'll see.
Exactly.
Let's move. We need to get out of here fast.
Don't need to tell me twice. Let's go.
I love Akane, but I especially love this older version of her. Really interesting. Wait. Can I just open the door? Is it the same as... Why do we have to do the puzzle again? Is it the exact same? Honestly, I solved these before with little to no looking things up, so... Sorry, but again, we're here for the story. There's gotta be more story. I'm fucking just looking this up. I forgot about all of these solutions. I found... It's not really a walkthrough. It's on lparchive.org. Before they were YouTube series, Let's Plays used to be forum things with pictures and GIFs instead. Basically, big long forum posts, and the commentary is in the form of writing. And also, I really like the initial quip that this person wrote. It looks like we're gonna be escaping the elevator, which is crossed out. AB room for the second time. I mean, the first time. I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah. And then they say, here's a nice familiar tune, which is called Ambidexterity! Oh my god! These games and their naming schemes that are so perfect. But yeah, same save password, which means... Didn't have to redo the puzzles. I would feel like that'd be a little bit of a jib. There, it's open. Good work. Hurry up and grab the cracker. Cracker? Ah, damn, I made key. How the hell? Just shut up and do it. I don't get the cracker thing. That's really cute, by the way. Nothing inside anymore. Just put this key in here. For God's sake, just do it already. No need to yell. Alright, good. Looks like that worked. Ready, fine. You think... I know. I need to ask every time, right? Why the hell are you asking? Hurry up and... Right. I'm going. 10, 9, 8... Oh my god. 1, done. I love them. Now do your jumping. And also explain why the fuck you can jump like that. Hey, you push the button. Bite me. You were taking too long. We're on schedule here. Like, the fact that Junpei is even... Not Junpei. Wrong protagonist. Hell, I've been playing so long with this game with a different protag. Why do I keep wanting to call Sigma Junpei? Fine, I climbed up through the hatch and out onto the top of the AB room. I might be able to blame the fact that I love Persona, and so my exposure to Junpei Iori from Persona 3 is often. So, that's my excuse. Anyway, it took us only a moment to spot them. But a character also named Sigma now. Yeah, you really should have been. Wait, if you goofed around literally a few more seconds, she'd be dead. He's right there. Okay, yeah, Sigma, that is the worst time you could have possibly been joking around. Why was that even a needed thing? The comedy bit from before you started wasting time, was already funny. There was Dio, moving quickly and quietly, a knife glinting in his right hand. Shit! There was no time to yell to her. I scrambled down to the top of the AB room. Vi wasn't following me. When I looked back, she was still standing on the roof. Vi, what the hell are you doing? Get down here. Before I could finish, she moved. What is she doing? Went across the roof, launched herself into the air. Yeah, she didn't even need to get down. Oh my god, this is the badassest thing I've ever seen. Also, I think I remember that before. So, she's supposed to be able to jump like that for her purpose, so I bet she has the metal legs. What the?
He's fine.
Just like he has metal arms, and it might be for the purpose of that one ending? Does he need to do that? I don't know.
Just unconscious.
I bent down and held my fingers in front of his mouth. He was still breathing.
I don't think he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him.
I went down like a sack of potatoes.
He had it coming.
Yeah. I heard footsteps come to a stop right in front of us. That's very satisfied after everything he's done throughout all the routes of this game. I looked up. There she do be.
So you came. I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, you said you'd be.
You're here to hear the rest, right?
Wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If you hadn't shown up just now, you'd...
Have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
That... what? Like...
Hold on.
Lady, you knew it was gonna happen, but like...
How do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Yes, indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was gonna stab you, why were you going to let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested. I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity.
Okay, so I think I get... Okay, this is a better explanation for why the games function the way that they do. Why they are... Why there's all these things that happen, but the true thing that happens is the one in the past. Because what happens is, basically, in some... Like, all the things basically happen simultaneously, but in different parts of the fourth dimension or something. And basically what happens is, all those things happen, but what ends up happening when we do these AB games is that our minds get sent back and undoes things and changes the past because of that.
Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, we need to slow down the brain before the increase happens. It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like.
Whenever you like? No, it seems to have to be triggered by something.
Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage.
Or, well, is it more that they weren't aware of this? But now that they're aware of this, they could, and that's how they ended up here? This is them being freed after all of those times where they remembered some of it. The entirety of their consciousness is now able to access the fourth dimension, and that's why they were able to come back here? I think so.
In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with radical sex.
Okay, I had a feeling that's why. Okay. Whoa, what? Yeah, they were all infected, weren't they? Which explains that one ending where they all just fucking die from it.
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes. Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you sure? Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected. Well, apart from Luna, of course. Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed. The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times.
Oh my god! They're literally explaining the game mechanics, thank you. I was feeling like the story has to be more intentional about this than I'm thinking. And here we go! End of the second game. Finally, we have an answer for why the flowchart is the flowchart and why it works the way it does. But wait, does this mean the project also includes everything that happened in 999? I have a feeling it does. Or, well, that was just like the project of 999. But was that the first part of the project and then the second was this one?
With each jump, your ability to remember improved.
Actually, wait, no, Temioji is Santa. The reason I think so, again, well, I mean, atop of all the other evidence that I've told you throughout this Let's Play, is that he knew. Like, he knew she was gonna die. He knew he knew everything. Just like Akane did. How the fuck would he? He came from the future. Just like we just did. Except not really him, his consciousness flew into his past body. When he was that young. Oh my fuck.
Eventually, you would be able to retain everything.
I guess it was a long-ass time ago.
That is why we made you play the A-B game. That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
Okay. But again, why? I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand. I'm sure there will still be things we don't understand after the end of GTD. But all of what you just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that Fi and I could jump through four-dimensional space with our memories intact, right?
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died. Murder, antimatter explosions, suicide. I've died, so has Fi, so have you. Alice, everyone. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that is kind of Luna dying there as much as a robot can die, huh? And then everyone else literally dying. So, why would you do all this? What does it matter that Fi and I jumped through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You are all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. What I'm asking you is why? What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit. That's not good enough. Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Akane knelt down next to Neo and picked up his knife off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Don't change the subject.
But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline.
What?
This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Logomorph.
Yes.
Logomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Logomorph. Logomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Now, everything is in
Oh my
place. I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Why do you need to do all that?
To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. It was a small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma?
What's it say on there?
Tu fui
Oh
ego
my shit,
eris.
fuck. The
It's
thing on the
Latin.
tombstone.
It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
There we go.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with it?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Wait, I still... And then this is the moment. They jumped, right? Are those things that flash, are they all as similar? Wait, hold on. So what now? What do I need to do now? Okay, thank God. Okay. Oh yeah, returning to the future, meaning we now have to go to the bottom of the list. Wow, this is an interesting ending right here. Oh yeah, here we go. Bam. So yeah, this was it. It makes sense, because yeah, we stopped the bombs. This is the true path, it's just not as quite as I thought it was.
Looks like you're awake.
Let's see. Who else? Who died here? Wait, I just realized. No one died here, did they? She said she'd be watching over you. What does that mean? Is this the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but
We waited and waited, and the two of you never returned.
so we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with
Oh my god. Passed out where we ended. Oh my Jesus. And yeah, this is definitely far in the future. I looked over at Fi and met her eyes. Do you remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah, you got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
Now time for everyone to be confused.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Mark!
What am I? Top
Ah, here we go. Oh yeah, this way. Yeah, none of them are dead here. This is the reason. They were destined to die. She changed that. Although that can't be all the reason. Why were they destined to die to begin with? Was it because of what she did to save herself in the first... in the second Nonary game?
Back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. All in a day's work. Just like getting them bombs. Although I wouldn't mind... Sigma, please.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you?
You'd like to be grabbing at something else, obviously. Hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. That was an offer for Alice.
Not really my point.
Whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
It says 10. I have 10 BP.
I've got 15 BP. That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours. We've played the AB game 3 times.
3 times?
Yes. Of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Alice.
Ah, I'm glad! Yeah, see, this is the good ending here. Oh my god. Yeah, everyone's alive again. They were all destined to die, but then they were destined to live in, like, the true timeline? The one that they... the final result.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
Nice. I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all of our BP past 9? Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Thought our death to start things off, maybe we'd been less suspicious of one another. Or could the bombs have had something to do with it? We'd all joined forces against Dio, and Vi and I had been able to disarm all of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond. I love that. Which, I had to admit, would be somewhat ironic. After all, Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. That must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you death was unavoidable? Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I would have just straight up said, hey, no, you'll all be alive by the end of it. Why didn't she say that? Because that's what's happening here. I don't know.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Wait. What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave him behind. Yeah. Good fucking riddance. Alice was the only holdout. She'd complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors, but after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio then, she reluctantly complied.
All right, let's get going.
Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
I love how Sigma does this, because, you know, pro-tag moment time. Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down. I love and kind of don't like how Fi didn't chime up to continue the bit. But I'm glad Alice got to chime up because she's been unconscious again. She died many, many times, the most times that we've seen in this game. Other than Akane. But, like, that we've seen. We've seen Alice's body so many times, man.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Alright, everybody, let's move. I didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. It looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. Wait, is this actually the end? Because this is the music that plays at every bad end. Or is it just bad ends or not? Is it every end? I don't remember right now, but certainly the bad ends. We ran to the center of the plate and turned around. Number 9 door stood wide open.
2, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
Where, I fucking love this song. I love this song a whole lot. This song is real goddamn good. Holy fuck, this song is good. Holy fucking fuck.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nunnery game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over,
Yeah, we're aware of this, but we don't need to care about that anymore. How much more is there after this? I can't imagine a whole hell of a lot. But
looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar-looking door. Pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. The whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so that we match the outside air pressure. Wait, if all of them were... I just realized, speaking of the virus, if all of them were infected, except for Luna, obviously, so 8 of them were infected, then why the fuck were only 2 doses needed and no one else has Radical 6 at this point? What does that fucking mean? Did they fight it off? Is that possible? This room here is... Or did no one get... No, everyone got... No, Alice and Quark got Radical 6 this time, so what happened to everyone else's Radical 6? What happened to it? I don't know. This room here is where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. See all those suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute! You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were all already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
No one else objected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. By the way, there seemed to be exactly 8, so that's very convenient. Everything's planned out perfectly, because it would, I guess, have to be to achieve this. As soon as we were all inside, the process began. Through my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes, waiting for the process to finish. At last it did, and we heard the door begin to open. Are we the last of humanity? I fucking hope not. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. That's a lot. The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps of the radio. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we?
The desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
Hmm?
Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So? Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028.
This is also pretty timely in real life because, well, it's December in, as of time of recording, but you're gonna see this video well after December. But yeah, it's December 15th right now.
So,
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars. The sky was full of them. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive. Much bigger, in fact, than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It was hard to see the details, but it looked circular. That spot continued... Yeah, moving. Well, what's that?
The moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot. And brought Quark with me, just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Wait, what? We are on the moon. Wait, what? I thought we were just in the desert!
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. Then again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
What? No way. Well, yeah, of course we need the suits now. Because we're on the moon. If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we? Yeah.
The moon, of course. This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No way. No. You've gotta be lying. How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but...
Excuse me?
Please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed.
Oh my god, so we've all been slow the whole game. No wonder I love and relate to this game so much. I'm slow, anyway.
As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's.
Oh my god. I'm smart enough to understand what that means about all this, even though most of the math is going right over my head.
The object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration.
Uchikochi's just a fucking genius,
Since
isn't
the
he?
gravity is lower on the
Because
moon,
he had to be able to understand all of this in
increases.
order to write this.
I guess that's a little technical. Let me give you an example. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters.
Thank you. I need the Spark Notes version.
It would
Thank
take
you.
approximately 1 second to hit the ground. On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2. But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us. Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity? Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigmund Phi said something about it in the lounge.
That's why Phi can jump. Oh my. Fuck this game.
About how you felt weird?
Oh, that too, but I think that's why Phi can jump like that, right?
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating.
Okay. So it's not the weird cloney thing I thought, except, well, I think it is a clone still, but let's think about that. It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, yeah. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhumans are— Thank you! Quite well. Yeah. Okay. We're on the moon. We have been on the moon. Fuck this game and its fucking misdirection. Oh no, we're on the desert, not the moon.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth, and it's blue and green and beautiful.
But if you really look, there's South America right there. I can see it.
That thing is just red.
Either South America or Africa. I think it's South America.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve in 2028.
Oh God.
Today is January 27th.
In 29?
No.
Oh no.
Don't tell me. 30?
Still no.
Then just what year is this?
It's 74.
Wait, what?
2074.
Excuse me, what? No, that's insane. That would mean we were all abducted more than 45 goddamn fucking years ago.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074.
That's why he's so fucking old! Oh my god! Finally, we have an answer to that.
Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time.
Wait, if only 3 of them fit in the pods, then how is everyone else?
That's just science. Nobody can change that.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. On the 13th, all 18 of them went up, all at the same time. The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
What? Why?
I suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident.
Okay, so this is not— we're not at the Nevada test site. The Nevada test site— wait, were we in the Nevada test site before or not? Like, when we got out with Phi, were we in the Nevada test site or were we on the moon? Oh my god, I don't know. Can you jump between them, or were we always on the moon?
Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained,
Okay, wait, hold on.
the virus slows your
It's a
brain.
mirrored scenario, just like the ship and the Nevada test site for the ship in the first game. I get it now. And she's trying to stop the spread of Radical 6. That's what it is. Okay. In fact, like, I forgot about a lot of these details, but that was inferable.
But eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot
Jesus.
themselves in the head. You know, the
Jesus
classics.
Christ.
But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars.
Christ.
One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed. And thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses.
Christ.
Covered in flies and rats and crows.
Jesus.
I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a... After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. Just cause, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth, and that'd kill the virus off for good. On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect.
Jesus.
That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors. Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened, but I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected, and when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate "if I die, you're coming with me" gesture, I suppose. I bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors. Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. What is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? No, that's basically what we got. The explosion threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered, animals died by the millions. A few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again. The animals that had died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now. But there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
I was speechless. What could I possibly say? There was no reason for Tenmyoji to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074, but why? Why were we there? Why were we then? I was so lost in thought I'd barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma, I think I figured something out.
Please tell me. Please enlighten me. I only have more questions again. Welcome to this whole fucking series. A window popped up on the inside of my helmet with Whisper in the corner. Or McGirt, it's got Whisper functions like fucking chat. Very technology, much wow. You seem to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
In the Memento Mori. An extra E. Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram. Just like on floor A.
Ninth Lion ate the sun. The sun was blotted out. Maybe not. It probably has something to do with that, at least symbolically. What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma. Knock it off.
Listen, you also do stupid jokes. Bye, come on.
Memento Mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get the man on the moon rules the infinite time.
Oh my Jesus Christ. That's why there's the E.
See?
It's another anagram.
Six
Just,
E's
of course
to
it
get that.
was, because...
So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AV project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Vi.
So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow.
I know. This game is so relatable.
You don't get it? They're
No, I
saying
don't. I don't get a lot of things.
The infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're gonna send us back 45 years?
Yeah. I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking about?
I think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came from that same time period, before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Oh my god.
Tu fui ego Eris.
Oh my... I remembered... Okay. I did realize... Wait, there's a key. I remembered noticing that. I promise you, right before this flashed... this game is awesome. Anyway, the grave. The one in the garden.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Without any explanation. We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're gonna go have a talk with somebody. Yeah, it lets you meet someone very important.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? There's the person behind all this.
You mean Akane?
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Ah.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yep, the very same. As crazy as it is, Clover.
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious? What the hell is going on?
Shut up! Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. But is she actually going to be there in body and alive? And if not, then how is she going to explain it?
Clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course, but the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah. Great.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Oh! Yeah, I did think about that, but... Anyway, let's move. To the garden. Okay, yeah, yeah, we undid her death, so she's there. She woke up in the coffin. But is she old or is she young now? Again. Bitch garden. Except Akane isn't a bitch, so... I say that, man. But the things she's done for what she's trying to do. And we still don't fully know what it is yet, but it's probably... How much did she know before 999?
Is Akane really under here?
Did all this happen before 999? And by all this, I mean maybe even this game ends EDD, kind of, sort of, maybe? I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole in the grave? If I just... insert this here... That's what he said. Literally, he just said that. I pulled the key off my ankle and fitted it into the hole. Just like I'm gonna fit something else into Phi's hole later, I'm sorry. I twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. Because cool random mechanical things were random. It's a treatment pod, oh my god!
What is this?
She's alive in there! Oh my god. Is this a clone or...
It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed a hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1, defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes. Once Stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Miss Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
And we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered.
What do you remember?
Everything.
Here we go.
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, that's what a rhizome is. I heard about it before. Maybe even from this game initially, I would not be surprised. In fact, I might have heard rhizome in that room where we had to do the plant puzzle, the root puzzle.
This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon.
Whoa.
And this is the 9th one.
Of course it's the 9th one.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior.
But what did the other 53 do?
I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning. You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories.
Ah!
The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Oh my god! They're explaining everything. Oh my god.
That was the reason for the puzzles.
That was the reason for the puzzles in 9992. It was. This feels rather final. How the fuck is there a third game? I guess we'll see.
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. The location is Earth, of course, more specifically, Los Angeles, California, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why?
what do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking, as I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
But why is it Sigma and Phi? That's probably the last answer.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying you couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth.
And well, yeah, it certainly wasn't boring, but, like...
What kid would turn that down?
I didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, I headed straight for the moon during the trip. Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out.
You're still not telling us who Zero is, why?
And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project. So, Dio was given two tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper. We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
No one objected, because yeah, answers are the one thing you play this game for. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but yeah. We're all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two, Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility. But I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is is Zero Senior?
Please fucking tell us! GA wants to know.
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a hologram. I still don't know who he is. Of course!
Stage 2
Interruption.
is complete.
Are all these answers even gonna happen here? I bet not.
TP.
Just like
Zero,
we didn't really
zero.
know that that woman was
Online.
Alice, but I'm pretty sure that, to some degree or another, the Ice 9 thing was true.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
Vi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, what? Is Sigma Akane? I'm so confused now. That's number 3. Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B in front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and said, is she in his body, or is it really him, or is he actually Akane? Oh, I'm so confused now. Oh, welcome to this game. My own face. I never really figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It makes sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with Tubercurin, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Please take the mask off. Please take the mask off. Please take the mask off. Yep.
Akane Kurashiki.
It's you!
That's the reason for the armor.
June! I mean, Akane. From... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
I fucking knew it! It's actually Junpei! Again, the hints that have been dropping recently have led me to believe it's more Junpei, and I'm right. It was mostly the, you saved the girl. Junpei ended up saving her.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. I felt like all the cold air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there. So yeah, that explains the perviness.
How long?
It really, she was his first love. He was just being embarrassed about it, I guess. I knew it was one or the other.
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
BAM! I love her, man.
Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room, and then took Dio's to the 5th.
I don't know, moments like this, I'm just so shook by the fucking absurdity of everything about these games that I feel like I just need to sit here and say, oh my god, Uchikochi, you fucking madman.
After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
So yes, things are different in different timelines. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. Well, and then Luna took your body to the 6th room. Couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
Or Schrodinger's Sigma in this case. The pod is Schrodinger's box. Is it Akane or Sigma? I think they literally switch depending on some shit?
Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the
Oh my
armor
god.
in the
Oh!
past.
Okay, his armor is the fucking box. Oh my god. Durgan brain bits everywhere. But no, that's not. Yeah, welcome to being in an Uchikochi game, Sigma.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the
Wait.
rest of you?
Then what do I look like right now?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either.
Total stranger.
Okay, they're just all being a dickhead. Hey, come on, what are you guys saying? Right here? Same face? Wait, what?
Are
Wait, what?
you all right, Mr. Sigma? Did you
Wait,
hit your head or
Who?
something?
What does he look like? Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your
He's
body
old as
in
fuck.
the past or in
And
the
he has the
future.
motherfucking eye patch. What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
He looked around frantically. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all floors, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down, calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly, I peered into the pond. I thought so! Yep, okay, it's just... Yep, we are zero! I figured that out a little while ago. I'm proud of that. No, this can't be real. What happened to his eye? And his face?
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. Zero. The mastermind of the AB project
We are zero this time. Although Akane's also kinda zero as well.
is you.
What? No, that's not possible. It's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be a pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create.
Clone of my past self. Create.
His name is Kyle Climb, your clone.
Yep.
That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that.
With the suit.
You gave him that armor ever since he was born. He's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, Exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body.
Oh my god.
And the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
Nevada test site. Wait. So yes, there is... Wait.
A is where everything began. December 25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074.
Wait, so we were in Nevada test site?
You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67.
Oh my god, we were always the older one, my fuck!
Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future.
Just never saw her in reflection.
I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Fi at one point said, man, you look really old for how young you're supposed to be.
The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down.
Oh my god,
so
yeah.
Yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened. The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B.
Okay, yeah, I see the lines now, okay.
But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B. Do you remember when B is, Sigma?
January 26th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A, December 25th, 2028. The day all this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
Once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at sea.
So it's rotating.
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way, but look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path with one exception.
This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out. By jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve, 2028?
Yes, that is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C, and for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said the point C is January 27, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But, look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that, thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness like a bullet from a slingshot.
I really don't like that the fact that this creepy music is playing. I thought this was the good ending. How do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balance between life and death.
Again.
That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
The advent of Radical 6 killing him.
I mean this.
Or, why else would she have taken the knife? Dio's knife. No sooner were the words out of my mouth. My god. She's nuts. Oh my god, Fi! Fi! I screamed and left toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Fi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize it was Akane's body lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Yep. What I am, you will be. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. But how do Tuafood and Ego Eris mean such similar things? Starting with what you are and what I am. I don't know. Because, like, the words are very... Latin obviously works very differently. I actually... So, I'm trying to understand. What did he do there? What happened? Is she dead? Again? Yeah, he woke up again. He's still alive, but... I'm very confused now. He should be in the younger version, right? Okay, so who is Phi? Was she the girlfriend? My brain just jumps in that direction. The girlfriend that he broke up with in college? I don't know why, but my brain jumps in that direction. Because why does with her dying be the trigger? I don't know why that, like, that's what I leaped to, though. Well, I'm gonna wait for after credits scenes. If there aren't any, I think I'm gonna start fucking ZTD right away. Because I need answers as soon as possible. And God, this series is my crack now. Utterly my crack now. Penis is a vaginas. Penis is a vagina. Okay, stop being silly. Holy shit. Just holy shit! I've reacted to everything that's happened here. Phi end. There's the Phi end. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, there is more. There is more. I should have figured. But again, credits threw me off. Oh my god. Oh! We take the jump. The way before jump. Oh my fuck. Headquarters. What headquarters? Headquarters of who and what now? And the thing is happening.
Today,
do we take all the jumps?
2029.
My god, okay, I'm so glad there's more.
News. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Oh my god. And she had it too. For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. There he was. You. Wait, who did it? Oh my god. How old is she? I'm trying to think. She's older. She's like 30 or something, right? She's older than the 999 one.
It looks like the first step was successful.
The fuck? You killed... Wait, what? You killed me. Oh, he was dying.
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
Christ. I'm okay. So it was Akane the whole time.
Yes.
At least the zero in the gas mask is always her, isn't it? Is that still how the fuck is there game number 3? Already? I need to know already.
You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi?
Yes, I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Who the fuck is she? Please fucking tell me.
Now.
What I'm hoping to God about is that when it said there's a lot more story, right? I don't know if that was the one that said it, but one of those last files said something about Phi's identity, there's hints, but it's not revealed. I think Phi is in ZDD. I'm pretty sure there's a girl with glasses that looks like an older Phi, like so much. So I think her identity is actually going to be revealed in ZTD, but we'll see.
You know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right? Okay.
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi.
Okay.
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are, and she still is.
Then that means after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Christ, this is nuts. Welcome to Uchikochi. Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
And all of the other ridiculousness that goes into operating the game.
You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin.
Oh, man, Akane, she's trying to save everyone, but God, she's so heartless to the man she loves. She still really likes Junpei, right? Or was she always just pulling him along? And I really hope not. That really breaks my heart to even think about. If she just was she just manipulating him in 999 in order to get him to do what she needed? Now, granted, it's for the sake of everything. Or was that version of her even aware of this? I don't know, man. I'm literally crying because this is just like, what? And also, I really hope the truth about Akane isn't as bleak as I think it is. I don't know. Because I don't even actually know what the real truth about Akane could even possibly be, and I think that's not going to be a thing until ZTD. That's not even going to be answered fully until ZTD.
January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the 3rd AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out, and you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2000.
So the moment we fucking wake up in the AB room, the older version of ourselves has jumped back before it all began. Yep, in his fucking car. My God. And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we gonna do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh, crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility.
The one in Nevada, okay.
Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger.
ZTD is in the Nevada facility, isn't it? Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me, after you failed.
What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point. A woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
That's why the arms. Okay. My arms and my right eye? Yeah, there we go. The hell? Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. Yep. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm gonna change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. But why can't she do any of this? That's gotta be a plot point, but we still don't really know what it is. Is this the ending or not? End or begin... But, okay, so this is end, right? This is like end. Right? I think so? Why is there still flowchart? Why has there not... Is there anything after this? Oh my god. They don't even tell you. That's tricky. But yeah, if it doesn't credits, then there's gotta be something else. By this point, I guess it's inferable, because I immediately inferred it. More or less immediately, anyway.
Where?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Oh my god.
Kyle?
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered in a film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve, and my reflection stared back at me. Sigma with 2 eyes and 2 arms, right? There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to...
Kyle Klein. So, I'm Dr. Klein? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Klein was. In another history, he had been called K, and the word is K for Kyle. Or Klein. Or both. And won a suit of armor. Or KK, but then, well, that'd be in danger of people jokingly adding a third one, and we can't have that. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which had seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him, but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Klein? No, not really. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Klein in his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio still handcuffed. This is the ending where they all got out. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
And today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
Him talking is really jarring to me right now.
About 5 hours in real time.
Maybe it's to enforce, hey, you're basically a different person, except not really?
For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
Oh, okay. That explains...
The consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Because I'm him.
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes, I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right! Mr. Climb!
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Oh my god, yeah! His voice was literally just Sigma Climb's voice. His meaning K's, of course.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Climb now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way.
Oh, that's true.
You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change. In fact, it's because of what he did, or didn't do in the past, that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay. 9 people then.
And of course it's 9.
What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
You would know about that, wouldn't you?
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy?
Interesting. I love this, by the way. Because I agree, man. It's ironically because of the oof shit that you... Well, you have to do some mental gymnastics for it, but some good ones. And then you end up appreciating the good stuff more. But it often takes oof-ass shit. A little bit, here and there.
Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it.
Oh my god. And yeah, I would say that that's the key. Like, especially nowadays, 2020 and onward, there's like more and more hopelessness everywhere, right? I've always never been on that wavelength, I feel like. I've always felt like I am one who is going to be more okay than a lot of people. And I am going to hopefully help change other people to help, to better perspectives because of that. So this is resonating with me so much. I've always literally felt like my perspective just seems so fucking different. And I think it's a good thing.
Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, alright? You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not gonna happen. We're here, right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
Oh, then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off.
So basically, I'm hoping I'm right too, for several reasons. Both, I hope all this oof ends up in a good ending eventually. I don't know about ZTD though. We'll see. I just have this feeling ZTD is just generally gonna have a bad ending. Bittersweet at least. But, yeah, we'll see, man. I just hope it does involve actually getting Radical 6 the fuck, we'll see. So yeah, I was right about timey-wimey shenanigans. It's just like, they lied to us about the year, because again, they wanted to recreate the past of 2028, 9, or whichever of those 2 years it is. That's why we're all made to believe what time it was when it wasn't that. What else? I was gonna say something else. I forgot. My brain is turning into mush the more that I play this ending, because welcome to... that's how I felt about the 99 ending as well.
We told him we'd see him again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course, he is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we're completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand, but...
Kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical 6 and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to.
Where they're married. And if the game doesn't do that, fuck it, and I will decide that a timeline when they're married is the right one. Period. No matter if that's even hinted at. It is my headcanon. I don't give a fuck what happens. If I have to literally ignore the ending of ZTD to make them live a happy married life, I fucking will.
In other words, they get to go back to point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with point C as our starting point.
You told us about Ten Myoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
it's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
Welcome to me not talking a lot because there's so much talking that is occurring at me, and I need to process everything. So, apologies for the silence, but I think it's understandable. Just take in their talking, I suppose.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have 2 Clovers and 2 Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
I really love his voice, by the way, the voice actress. Also, my brain is starting to be like, he's definitely in some other games, but I can't put a finger on who he plays where. I'll probably look it up, like, after this.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's
Cat.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind. I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Why not me?
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure.
Ah!
And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a
Man,
merman
talk about full
or
circle.
a wolfman.
The full circle just keeps happening, but I think that's intended because that's kind of the storyline.
I'm not a Brahmin or common or ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
I don't get what a Cayman is.
Please don't dodge the question.
The smile.
About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife.
What was that smile? That was really kind and not like her, but that was really cute. I didn't mean to skip past it like I did.
That
But
triggered
I'm so
something
used to
which
seeing
sent
dots
your
and
mind
skipping
back to the
because I need to know
past,
that's
right?
happening, but I basically noticed the smile as soon as I pressed the button. Oh well.
Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep, you wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right.
Does Phi actually not know what he meant by that? Maybe he's supposed to be left with questions for the purpose of this? That's what I'm guessing right now. But if she knows, then why?
Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out. Even though you didn't wake up.
Again, probably for the purpose of the project. For some fucking reason. Probably because he needs to realize it himself to strengthen his memories or something. I don't know.
Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Fortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods.
Okay, now we know that.
Another consciousness enters your body around that time. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places. You moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor. It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v1 plus v2. You see what I'm saying? In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about, right? As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history.
I thought so.
There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear.
Because I would know it, and...
You understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
Oh, he didn't quite understand all of it. Wait, oh my god, and then...
I shall give you your answer.
Wait, did he wake up again, or is this... Or did he just go to her?
You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not.
It's Sigma. He's Sigma.
Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle, or could you be someone else entirely?
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the Doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Klein's spare.
It's not
but
true?
That was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve, 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the Doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help.
We're not Phi or Sigma. Okay. This dialogue seemed to be hinting at that. But then who the shit fuck are we? We're not Kyle either.
Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past.
Are we Junpei?
Only you can save the world.
There's no way
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Well, if you keep asking me that, yes. So much. So much. Because that is the crux of this whole story. And it's probably the entire plot of ZTD, I think.
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine. Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
Alternative end. Huh. A certain point of view. Wait, is there more? Because... How many motherfucking... Cool. Is it? Why no credits? Because I don't see anything new. I'm so confuzzled. I'm literally just gonna search if alternative end is the true end. Okay. I feel like the credits should have played. I don't know why the credits don't play. But I think the reason is... Okay, so the alternative end is apparently non-canon. That makes me sad. I just hope... Oh, I'm afraid. Yeah, ZTD is just... Although, wait. If the end where the nukes happened is canon, then... Well, that must mean that... Well, I'm just gonna brace for ZTD's end to be horrible, awful, and maybe with some good points. At this point... But man, I'd be so happy if it's... different, but okay, well, no credits, so holy fuck. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, I did a whole talkie after 999, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make a separate video after the end of ZTD, where I talk about the entire plot and everything that is laid out in all three games. I have to do that, because I've just realized that talking about the plot as it is, it's just not complete yet. The full story is so dependent on all three parts to be told. All three games, that now I almost guarantee you it would be fruitless to try to extrapolate anything else than I've already tried to extrapolate from this game now, until we are at the end of ZTD. So, friendarinos, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this journey, no matter how long you were here for it, and I will see you in the first part of ZTD and all sorts of future content. Keep living your life, loving yourself, loving the world. See you next time. Hell yeah.